Hey folks, just because you can doesn't mean you should. I'll tell you what I mean by that and then get into the latest home prices and insights for York Region for week ending April 12th, 2023. So you're a buyer. You've decided you want to buy. One of the first things you're going to do is speak to your bank, or preferably better than going straight to the bank, you go to a mortgage broker. So you talk to your mortgage broker and he or she figures out this is the maximum you can buy for. They factor in your credit, your down payment, everything. And they come up with a number. That number is the maximum you can buy for. And then you speak with a realtor. You speak with me. And you tell me, this is my budget, this is what the bank's going to give me. But I will often, well, not often, every time I will get into a more in-depth conversation and I'll say, okay, so that's the maximum that you can buy for according to the bank. But that doesn't factor in your lifestyle. That doesn't factor in that you like to go to dinner 2-3 times a week. That doesn't factor in that maybe next year the plan is that you're going to get a second car in the home. That doesn't factor in that one of your kids are going to go to university in the next 6 months or next year. It doesn't factor in your personal lifestyle. So you've got your maximum budget and your monthly payments are going to be a certain amount. Are you comfortable with those monthly payments? That's the big question. And many times what we're doing is we're taking the maximum that you can buy for and we're coming a little bit lower and we're figuring out what are you comfortable actually paying every month, factoring in your lifestyle, and that's now the new maximum that we can buy for. This is part of the process, and this is where I find buyers tend to make mistakes. Just because the bank is going to give you X amount of money doesn't mean you need to take it all. You can qualify to buy for $2 million, but maybe 1.5 is better. Or you can qualify for $1 million, but maybe 800 or 900 suits your lifestyle better. I've recently had that conversation with one of my buyer clients. We were buying for, this was the parameter that were set up. The bank is going to give him this much. This is the parameter. Here's the problem. The homes in this budget look way better than the homes in this budget. That's the problem. So as we start looking, you tend to gravitate as buyers to the nicer, shinier home that, wow. The worst part is that you know the bank is going to give you the money for that. It's one thing if you're looking at properties outside whatever the bank is going to give you. That's an easy decision. You just don't qualify to buy those homes. But if you actually qualify for what the bank is telling you that they're going to give you, that home is going to look nicer than the home that you've decided fits your budget. And so from time to time, I have to remind the buyers, guys, this is what you told me. Remember what we first spoke about. This is the budget. Now we're looking a little bit over here. This is not what was part of the original plan. And so I just have to remind them of that from time to time. On a personal note, similar scenario, my son decided that it's time he was almost forced to upgrade his vehicle. He's got to buy a new car. He's going to upgrade his vehicle. So we went through the whole budget process. We went through with his current situation, financing wise, what's the maximum he qualifies for? And we looked at that monthly payment, took his lifestyle, took his plans, how much does he want to save every week, what is the cost and expenses for him to live his life the way he's living it now, what can he actually feel comfortable spending every month? Not what is the maximum financing, but a little bit less, what is he actually comfortable paying every single month on a new car? We figured out that number and we went shopping. Well, guess what? He liked better the cars just outside of his new revised budget, still within the budget that he knows he qualifies for financing, he liked those cars better. So often we were having to have that conversation and just reminding him, you know, Daniel, yes, you qualify, but remember what we spoke about here. In the end, I think he made a great decision. He's happy and he's comfortable with his payments. He's got no issues. But every now and then, part of my job is just to remind our buyer clients, hey guys, this is what we spoke about. This is what we're doing. Remember, just because you can doesn't mean you should. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. Let's get into the numbers. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video in the description there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. This way I'll know ahead of time and I'll make sure my schedule is organized so we can talk about whatever's on your mind. You know, I'm sporting the jersey here. Go Leafs go. We're in the playoffs. We really got beat the first round, the first game. Not at the first round yet. The first game, we're going to make up for it though. Round 2 or game 2 is coming up right away. Okay, so be cautious. You know, before the intro song, I talked about buying what you can afford, not buying what the bank tells you is your max, but buying what you're comfortable affording every single month. When you're looking at properties in Vaughan, Richmond Hill, or Markham, I find the options of going to the next level are few and far between. Well, they're there, but the next level is really a big jump. For example, I'm working with a client. They're looking for a 3-bedroom, 1-car garage. They're looking for that because that's what their budget is going to afford them. The better home for them would be a 4-bedroom with a 2-car garage. But the difference is a lot. You're talking an extra $250,000, $300,000 to go from the 3-bedroom, 1-car to a 4-bedroom. Even if it's a smaller 4-bedroom, the jump is huge. Whereas in other parts of the GTA, I find that difference is not so much. You can find for example, if you're going to go from a condo to a small detached, there are not that many options in Vaughan, Richmond Hill, or Markham. If any, there are no options usually. When you're looking for the same thing from a condo to a detached, say in Toronto, you can find small 800, 900 square foot bungalows you could find. Now, inventory is still a problem, but it's a much greater problem in Vaughan, Richmond Hill, or Markham. So I just find buyers need to be extra cautious when they're looking to go up to that next level. That gap is far bigger, far larger in Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham than other parts of the GTA. Let's get into the numbers. Here we have Vaughan, broken down by week for a whole year. For week ending April 12th, 2023, 31 detached properties were sold. 10 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price is $1,862,000. Average sold price came up from the previous week. Sales went down. These are probably Easter type sales through the week of Easter. Sales dropped down a little bit. 1,862 is 10% less than where the average sold price was a year ago. The median price of $1,755,000 is 6% lower than where the median price was a year ago. For Vaughan, for detached properties, both the median price and the average sold price since February, middle of February, has been on a steady incline. It's been trending upwards. Prices have been going up in Vaughan for detached properties. And what I'm looking at is the dotted line, which is the 4-week moving average. It's pretty clear. So again, 31 were sold. I put a question mark. Is this because of Easter? Most likely. 58% of those properties sold at list price or more. Listings are also down. Is that because of Easter? Could be. 174 were the active listings, which came down from the previous week, and months of inventory went up because sales did come down. And we look at that new sales figure, we projected that that's what sales are going to be for the month. Well, excuse me, 1.3 is the new months of inventory, which is higher than it's been over the last couple of weeks. Here's Richmond Hill. Sales also dropped. We did 20 sales of detached properties. Only one was at $2 million or more. Now the previous week was 12. We jumped down to one. Only one, which is kind of crazy in Richmond Hill that only one sells at $2 million or more. As a result, that's going to greatly affect the average sold price. So average sold price, when only one property sold at $2 million or more, came down to $1,660,000. 1660 is 12% lower than where the average sold price was a year ago. The median price of 1628, so its median price is pretty close to the average sold price. The median is 11% lower than where the price was a year ago. Now, looking at the 4-week moving average for the last month or so, average prices seem to be quite flat actually. Towards the end here, end of March, April, they look like they're trending down a little bit, but it's this 1 week that we just had where boom, prices went right down, and it's average prices. It doesn't mean necessarily that prices on the street came down, but average prices, because we're looking at all properties being sold, the average is so much lower, it's going to give the impression that prices may be coming down. So we got to keep an eye on that. Of the 20 that did sold, a little bit over half, 55% sold at list price or more. Listings did go up a little bit, and months of inventory now is sitting at 1.5 months of inventory. Let's look at Markham. 37 detached properties were sold, same as the previous week. 9 sold at $2 million or more, 1 less than the previous week. Average sold price came up a bit to $1,823,000, which is only 1% lower than where the average sold price was a year ago. Median price of $1,780,000 is actually 3% higher than where the median price was a year ago. And you could see prices, median and average prices, trending upwards over the last couple of months. Of the 37 that sold, 76%, so 3/4 sold at list price or more. Markham has become extremely competitive. Listings did come down a bit. Months of inventory went down. It's from 0.8, it's now 0.7 months of inventory. Extremely competitive, extremely tight, not a lot of choices. Buyers are competing, extremely competing to buy in Markham. Here's condos for all of York region. Sales came down to 46 condos were sold. 3 of those were at $1 million or more. Average sold price up a bit to $726,000. $726,000 is 6% lower than last year's average sold price. The median price of $650,000 is 13% lower than last year's median price. And you can see also pretty clear, but the incline is not as pronounced. So prices have been trending up for condos across York region, but very gradually trending upwards. Of the 46 that sold, 37% sold at list price or more, so a little bit over a third. 85 were listed, and months of inventory came up a little bit to 1.5 months of inventory. Here's a quick summary. Very much still a seller's market. You know, whenever there's a holiday of any sort, it could be a long weekend, it could be a religious holiday like Easter, Christmas breaks, you gotta kind of look at those numbers and think, okay, here's what happened during that holiday, but let's really keep an eye on things as to how things play out over the next few weeks to really see how things, you know, which way is the number going to really go, because those holidays do affect the numbers. They really do. We can't help it. Those are the actual numbers. How does the holiday affect it and play into it? Go Leafs go. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.